back in the field. Everybody's all over Phil. He's right in the middle of a major war. And Earnhardt is on his way, sailing through cars. One car slamming the wall. Brett Bodine in turn number 4. And we've got a major collision taking place down here in turn number 1. There's Mark Martin's number 6 slithering across the track and getting nailed. And I think Phil Parsons is part of that as well. They've taken the nose off Phil's car.
Phil's on the ground. He's trying to get back up on the track before he gets slapped. The cars have slowed down. That means he can stay in the lead lap. That was a good courtesy move by Darrell Waltrip because he could have gone by if he wanted to.
15 and 27 were side by side, and let's take a look and replay at what happened here from Phil Parsons' vantage point. Going down into the corner, there's the Bodine car, loose.
Just lost it.
That's the car that was the one that tangled with Richard Petty after Richard had rolled over so many times last week. Here comes number 6, Mark Martin, with no place to go. Whammo.
Richard goes across the grass with a great move, picked up about 5 spots. Heads up driving.
This is Phil Parsons back in it again in car number 55. Maybe we can get a look from his car at what happened out there. Oh, that's too bad for the Roush team who had just come into racing.
You can see fluid leaking out from that car.
Jack Roush, the owner of this car, has had such great luck in Trans Am competition with the likes of Pete Halsmer and Scott Pruitt, and they've come to Winston Cup racing and so forth. Their fortunes have not been very plentiful. We'll be back with more live from Richmond following these words. What follows us this afternoon on the Superstation?
Well, here's another candidate for that award. The men on the Jack Roush crew on the Stroh number 6, driven by Mark Martin. There must be 10 or 12 men working. The car stove in front of the driver's side. The trunk is shot. They're draining the oil out of the engine. The car is really battered and torn. And we're going to try and get a word in here with Mark Martin. He's being interviewed by the radio on the other side of the car. But these guys are all over this car, and it looks as though maybe they'll get it back in the race or not be handling. Hey, Mark, what was the problem? Why did you get banged up?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't see what happened. You know, it's a tight little racetrack, and there's been dust and dirt on it from the start. Everybody seemed a little bit itchy there after that restart. Somebody got with somebody. The next thing I knew, Brett Bodine was spinning, and I just couldn't get out of it. I tried to get underneath it, and I did, and I got in the mud. And
How hard was the hit?
no big deal. Just, you know, I feel really bad. We hadn't had a chance with this Stroh Light Thunderbird this year. You know, this is second race, and we're out of it already, and the car was running real fine. I wish we could line up and do the Rockingham race this afternoon.
Thank you, Mark. Well, there's a lot of work to be done here. Let's go back now to Ken Squire.
Well, let's see just exactly what did happen to create this 7th caution of the day. 101 laps now complete. From the viewpoint of Phil Parsons, here's what happened. There's Richard right up in front of him and his brother Benny on the outside. Here they are into the straightaway coming down. It should happen right about now, right in here where the fur began to fly. There it goes. And there was the impact right there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the way Phil's mind went, is blank.
David, one footnote to that, Kent. Some of the drivers are a little upset about the way Mark Martin handled the aftermath of that incident. I'm sure Mark didn't know it, but that car, as Johnny Hayes pointed out, was leaking fluid. Martin, when he came around to pit road, stayed in the racing group. So he has oiled down the racetrack a little bit. It's already terribly slick out there, and now it's even worse in the aftermath of this incident in which we saw Phil Parsons take that smack right there.
I don't know how much slipperier it could get, David. It's